and then we'll just click on that one there and open it up, and then it'll make it big.
So that's recording right now.
It's recording. You can start talking.
All right. Johnny Exanthus and Shirley. He's my cousin. Be my dad's nephew, Johnny. Hey, Richard, how do I go to the next picture?
Press the over arrow.
What?
Here, press this arrow.
Oh, arrow, okay. Well, this is Robert Lever, Elder Lever, on my mission in Brazil. I don't know why I took this picture. It's not very becoming. I'm not sure what he's eating. This is also a typical scene in the city. This was actually a cemetery that we went and visited in Brazil. And I frankly don't remember where this was, Skip. This is at the language training mission, Portuguese-speaking language training mission in Provo. And that elder with his back to me is Elder Clark. He was my companion. And I just saw him a few months ago, which was really fun. His hair isn't that color anymore. That's a Tustamina, the ferry that goes around Alaska, and it's coming into Kodiak. This is my first boat, the first Liahona, built in the backyard in Marysville, Washington, and we managed to launch it in the slough right there in Marysville. And notice it doesn't have any rigging up yet, but that was the next big job, was to get the rigging, and then I headed to Alaska when it was done. This is the 5th branch in Porto Alegre, Brazil, or my first Brazilian branch that I served in. Oh, and there's my cousin again and his kids. David, the oldest. Oh, forgot their names. When I was in high school, me and my buddies took a trip to Santa Catalina Island on one Easter break. And it's a long story. Anyway, these were the kids with the family we stayed in. Me, John Macon, and Larry Dryce. Sort of an amazing story that we ended up there. But if I find another picture that talks about it or shows it, I'll give more details. This is also Santa Catalina Island. And clear water, lots of abalone and lobsters, and that was kind of what we did for a week, because as we went diving every day for abalone and lobsters, had an incredible time. Yeah, same thing. Well, I don't know why I took this picture. This is before I went on my mission. This is on Kodiak, and obviously there's a bear over there on the beach. This was a village down on the Alaska Peninsula. It's long since abandoned. And it was a whaling station way back when. And since whaling became unpopular and not economic anymore, it went away. But and then this village stood for years and years until some fishermen friends of mine went over and decided to build a bonfire, and the grass caught on fire, and the grass from the beach, and swept inland and burned the entire village down. Glenn Sedan was the fire builder, and that has got to be Doug. And what has he got? This has got to be in Arizona. I'm back on my mission, and that guy with hair in the middle is actually me. And this is Irma Miranda and her daughter. And we had teams to help us missionaries find people to teach, and they were our team leaders. My companion took the picture. Elder Lever took that picture. And they're just really sweet people. I have no idea what in the heck we're doing here, but it is not Brazil. This is Brazil, but too many years have passed, and I don't know where or when. More Brazil. Probably near the city of Porto Alegre. Probably that's over in the background. Probably the city of Canoas. And somebody commented that they look like a silly somebody there. And actually, I would look a lot better if I didn't have hair. That's what I think I told them. Again, this is one of the branch buildings. In Brazil, you notice the streets are made up of stones. And that was the form of pavement. And again, I don't know, too many years have passed. Brazil, again, you can tell by the dirt streets. I lived in a place called Carazinho for about 6 months. And we, myself and my companion, Elder Anderson, started working together here. There were no members of the church. I was the branch president. Actually, there was one member on record, though we never were able to find that person. She was a lady, and she was less active, obviously. And that was quite a challenge. Anyway, that's the means of transportation, right there, going right by our front door. Oh, probably Kodiak. Oh, Eric and Doug. Now, this is a place on the Alaska Peninsula, one of many beautiful places on the Alaska Peninsula. You can tell because of the white up on the mountain, which is not snow, it's volcanic ash. It's from Mount Katmai from 1812 that erupted, and this ash covered a great deal of Kodiak, Anchorage, and we're a short ways from from Katmai volcano right here, and so it covered all the beaches and the hillsides. It's still there to this day, but most of it's been grown over now with alders. And it's not as white as it used to be. It's all more brown colored. I don't know where this was or what I was doing. It was a boat, so I was probably fascinated by it. Looks like Brazil. Definitely not Brazil. We're somewhere where the Coast Guard was. No, can't help you on that one. Salt Lake City, I think this is the place monument. And here, oh my goodness, haven't seen this picture for ages. Got to get closer to see it. Obviously my companion, Elder Utter, U-T-T-E-R, not U with the D, but with the T, Elder Utter, and myself and some of our investigators. That's too dark, I can't tell. Oh, blurry, I don't know what that is. This is some of the Brazilian landscape. Occasionally, as a district of missionaries, on a Monday, usually we would take a trip and explore some of the surrounding areas. And this is near Porto Alegre, southern Brazil. And I don't remember where this was. But orchids were real popular, so obviously I was thrilled by the orchids, and orchids took their picture. I think this is a festival every year, and one of the cities I worked in was nearly all Italian people, and the growing of grapes and wine. Anyway, they had a wine festival every year, and this was one of the pictures I took of the pretty ladies in the wine festival. Again, this is the stone streets that I walked on for 2 years in Brazil. Oh my goodness, this is that little girl to the right is Susan, and this is Ed Richardson and Effie Richardson, my sweet wife's grandparents. And that is Ben Lomond, California, and that is Millie Kachuk, I think. It has to be. Oh my goodness. And I don't know where this is exactly. Again, we're back in Brazil. I don't know where we are there. This is the place monument, Salt Lake. I think, though I'm not sure, this might have been the language training mission here, right in Provo, not too far from BYU. Well, this is a funny story. That's my dad's boat, the Mormon, and that was we have a load of fish. That's why we're so low in the water. And the reason we have a load of fish is because Mom and myself kept trying to talk Dad into going further up the bay and looking for a big school of fish. So Dad didn't want to go. And finally we talked him into it. So up the bay we went, and Uyak Bay, and saw a jumper over along the shore, and then another jumper. And so Dad made one set, and we loaded the boat. And then he apologized for not going sooner. There we go. This is the place again. There's what the Mormon looked like empty. Beautiful little wooden boat built by LeClaire Marine in Seattle. This is just before I went on my mission, and I stayed with Johnny and Shirley Xanthus, my cousin Johnny and his wife, and David Rodney, and I cannot remember the little one's name, just before I went into mission home. That's my sweet mom on the flying bridge of the Mormon, taking a little rest after a long day of fishing. I see my dad there with his usual hands folded. This is in Provo again, language training mission. Oops, another view of Mom. She changed directions. And this is traveling on the old Mormon. It was like I say, a beautiful little boat. After I got back from my mission, I was in the Coast Guard. And after boot camp, I was sent to the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida, to be trained as an aviation electrician. And this is near the gate to the air station. And this is back on my mission, I would guess. Me and a companion. Almost had his name, but it escaped me. Back on our mission in Brazil. Too dark, can't see. Oh, this is Elder Utter. And this was on one of our P days. We called it Diversion Day then, but now it's called P Day. And I'm back in Salt Lake, just ready to go on my mission. Mission home, if I remember right. Curitiba and Santa Catarina, Paraná in Brazil. That tree right there is a Paraná pine, very interesting kind of pine tree. Notice how all the limbs come out in one circle. And then you've got 2 or 3 feet, and then another circle of limbs, and so on, from top to bottom. They made interesting furniture out of that lumber because all the knots were in one spot. And then it'd be clear, and then knots in another spot. And probably in Brazil, again, I can tell by the arch, and that's probably Curitiba, but I can't tell. Probably the mission home again in Curitiba. And I must have really been infatuated. This must have been Christmas presents that I got, or Christmas cards. And back in Brazil, I took, I don't know, that's embarrassing. I see what's going on. Some things you wonder why you take a picture of. I'm holding a weird flower. It's Brazil. Probably Brazil, but I don't know. This is probably, okay, so I'll stop. Yeah, no, I don't. Well,
to make another video, what you do?
Wait a second. I gotta. That's just our group of missionaries before we went to Brazil. Okay, stop.
So to start the video, first of all, you lower it down.
Shrink it.
Then you open up this one here. Then you just stop right here. So